So this is an image lab. Image labs helps you to let me sign in with my Google. It's created by Google actually. It helps you to create AI images. AI images that you can use on your post, your designs. So please just let's just I have to accept this. Okay. It helps you create images, animation, anything that you want to create. You can either use image FX. There are lots of AI that are out there. Image FX, you have ChatGPT. But one thing that is common to the two or to all the AIs that you would want to use is your prompting. How do you prompt your AI? It's like you're talking to somebody. How do you tell your assistant or your creative designer what to do? The way you prompt your AI makes all the difference. So whatever you are doing, you have to be able to prompt your AI in such a way that it understands everything, that this is my work and the library and the things that I have done before. But for starters, right, I think I would like to use ChatGPT. More easier, but if we are free on our hands, we can try out the other one, but it's a bit more complex than ChatGPT. So let me log into my ChatGPT. Okay. So we have OpenAI. Okay. Okay, so we now have ChatGPT 5. It was launched yesterday, I think. We left ChatGPT 4. We are now in the 5, version 5. So still loading. Okay, let's create a new chat. Prompt AI. The most important thing is that there are different ways to prompt your AIs. There's a difference between if I say, can you create an image of a Nike shoe? This is how they prompt. This is how some people actually prompt ChatGPT, which is very wrong. If I say, can you create an image of a Nike shoe? Let's see what it's going to give us. But there's a way to prompt more than this. There's a course that is called prompt engineering, and that course is very, very well. So when you do a bit of, or you learn about prompt engineering, you understand that this statement that I just wrote is very wrong when it comes to prompting. This is the least way to prompt. When you are prompting an AI, you need to be able to tell the AI the texture of what you want, the feel of what you want, the let me say the color, the environment you want the object to be, a lot of things. So everything about that picture will be more authentic. I think my network is very slow, but for us to just have a few, please, we have to practice this on our own, because I don't know what's wrong with my day, but we have to practice this on our own when we get to our various house. We're in our house, but when we are alone, rather, we have to practice it on our own. So if you are prompting AI, right, there are different ways to prompt your AI. There is how will I put it? There is a personality approach. Then there is also a feel approach. So when we say personality approach, I can tell ChatGPT that I want you, like if I'm supposed to prompt the AI now, apart from what I have written, I'm going to say, I want you to act as a creative designer. Now I am giving ChatGPT a profession I want ChatGPT to assume. So I'm giving ChatGPT the profession I want it to be. So I want you to act as a creative designer with over 15 years experience. Right? Let's put a comma here. With over 15 years experience. I want you to come up with the picture of a shoe, a Nike shoe, comma, that is size 40, that's a size 40, comma, color white, I want the shoelace, the lace of the shoe to be a different color from the shoe. We can from the shoe, let's say in brackets, make the shoe lace purple. Let's say color purple. Okay, then I can say for context, right? Color purple, different, okay, of experience, okay. For context, this shoe is to be used on a billboard, right? So I want the shoe to be on a green field, let's put on a green, field. It's sorry, my keyboard is just typing rubbish for me. Okay. On a green field, I'll just correct this later. On a green field with a football player, a football player holding the shoe. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, right? So what I have just done is that I have given ChatGPT a lot of structure to work with, a lot of ideas to work with. So I am not just telling ChatGPT, give me a shoe. I'm telling ChatGPT what I want in the shoe, the color of the shoe that I want, the color of the lace of the shoe, where I want the shoe to be, the environment that I want the shoe to be placed in. So this is going to give me a more outstanding picture than if I just say I want the picture of a Nike shoe. It's going to give me a more generic what's it called, a more generic, rather than if I give ChatGPT more context. I think I have a book that has about 15 pages of prompts ChatGPT. So if you want to use that, so the same way if you want to create a flyer with ChatGPT, you have to be able to prompt the AI in a right way so that it can give us better results. Okay, so another thing that I want to show us before we go to the topic of today is this is just a continuation of our last class. That is what I'm trying to finish up. So now there are two. Once you finish your AI, there are two AIs that can help you to turn every of your picture, of your image into a video. We can use Minimax AI, and we can also use this Aloha. This helps you do I want to log in? This helps you to transform any picture that you want. You can use it to create any video. You can use this to create. So we have a lot of AIs that we can use. Another AI, Google is actually a very packed. This is also owned by Google. There's another one that's Google, that is V50. That is another AI that helps us to create videos. So I can come here and prompt this to, oh, I need a warrior wearing this, or I need the picture of somebody that is skydiving, I need the video of somebody that is doing this and this and this, and this is going to create it for me, right? So when we are, so let's see some of the videos it has created. Let me see if I can access this. Okay, I think I can. My network is so okay. So these are some of the things that has created in the past, right? So I'm just trying to show us this so that we have to come back ourselves or on our own, in our spare time rather, to come and practice with this. So you can create videos, you can turn a video that you have created into amazing what's it called, ads for your business, your small business, or even for yourself. So then another thing you have to understand when prompting an AI is that you understand the style of the picture that you're creating. So this picture right here of this that's another topic on its own. It can take us, because if I say I should show you people my prompting what was it called, notes, it's another thing entirely, and I don't want us to divert as much as possible because we kind of have like topics that we are talking about, right? So you have to be able to prompt your AI very well so that it can give you a perfect result, or the perfect results that you want. These Minimax, right? They give free units so that you can practice, but you have to like schedule a call with their customer service. Then they now give you free units to practice. Then I think they have another offer where you can pay $1 for, I think it's 30 days, or for 50 units, 50 credits that you can use to practice on their site. But they create, like, you can create a lot of videos, you can create a lot of things. You can even use the website for agents, AI agents, just a whole lot of things of benefit that you can use the AI for. And this is also the third one, right? So I'm going to be, if we don't have anybody with any questions today, we are going to be talking about content calendar, TikTok content, what is content marketing, what do we need, content, how do we create content of content that we have. So we are going to be using TikTok as an example, right? TikTok for me, for every content that you want to create, every content that you're in on TikTok, if you create a content on TikTok, the type of content you create is different from if you're creating a content on Instagram, right? On a lighter mood, when you're creating content for Instagram is for rich people. The type of content that you create on Instagram is different from the type of content that you create on Twitter. It's different from the type of content that you would create on I want to share my content, an example of a content calendar with us. Let me see if I still have one in my drive. So, but when we are talking about content, right, we have the different types of contents. There's actually a course that is called Content Management System, right? I think the course is also under Information System Technology, if I am right, right? So when we're talking about content, content is all encompassing. There are a lot of things that goes into content creation, a lot. Everything that you are seeing online, there is a systematic and strategic approach to every content that you see online. There is an agenda, there is a message that somebody is trying to push across. Everything is systematically calculated, right? So when we are talking about content, so for instance, if you see a brand like Google, a brand like Google in their team, they have over 50, 50 team members that are just in their content departments. And that goes from blog to social media to every of their page. They have a content team. So it is very unwise for a small business owner to want to create content like a brand, because the production team alone is a lot. They have photographers, videographers, graphic designers, copywriters, prompt engineers. They have which other ones do we have? We have SEO writer, technical SEO person. We have the social media specialist. We have the video content creator person. So it is all encompassing to want to say that, oh, as a small brand or as somebody that or someone that just getting started in content creation, I want to compete with brands, or I want to push out as much content as these people are. That's their day job. That's their 9 to 5. So if you are a mom, you have you have babies, you have 9 to 5, you still have other tasks that you have to do for yourself, for your family. It's going to be very crazy to say that you want to compete at the same level with these people. So now, how do you make content creation enjoyable for yourself? So it's going to be very delusional for somebody that is a small business owner or a person to say that, oh, I want to start to, how will I put it? I want to start to create content the same way a brand is creating content. It's going to be very delusional because you cannot do everything yourself. You can't do everything yourself. So you can do the best that you can do with the resources that you have right now, right? So how do you now plan that? Because when we are talking that, because I'm talking to mom, so how do we now plan that in such a way that is going to fit in into everything that we want to do? So this is what we call a content calendar. This is an example of a content calendar. So this kind of airpods, so let me put this to 50 or 75 so that we can see. Okay, so this helps us to put everything that we want to do in check. So if we are able to monitor our time, monitor everything that we are doing, we will be able to create more content. So because you cannot compete with brands, and that is the beauty of it. If you cannot compete with brands, you can now build a more robust inner circle and community. And the way the world is going, right, content creation is going to get to a place that it's not even the big brands that will be at an advantage. It's going to be the small creators, the people that can pull influence, people that can pull community together. They are the ones that are going to make it big in the nearest future. Because you will check, let's say for instance, if you check LG's page, the engagement is not the same thing. So you will see a brand's page, they are having 50 likes, 30 likes, and you will see a creator's page, the person is having 500 likes, um 50,000 likes. The difference is that people want to be able to relate with people. They don't want to be able to relate with brands. So as much as brands have the resources to create content, one thing is still lacking in majority of them, and that is community building. So if we are talking about content, I want us to look outside of just shooting, bringing things together, or bringing cameras together. I want us to look at the community side of content creation. How do we create content that is impactful, that is useful, and that is valuable to people in our community or in. So there's something that we call the one person rule in community or in content creation. The one person rule is that you should be able to have a target audience. So if you are speaking to somebody, you should have in mind an idea of who you are speaking with. So for instance, if a virtual assistant and I am looking for clients, if I say, oh, I want to work with tech co-founders, that means every of my content should be able to solve a pain point for the tech co-founder that I am creating content for. Right? So once I am able to figure out that, then I can now say, oh, this is the type of content that I want to create for this person, because it's all encompassing. So if I want to create, if I am a virtual assistant for a tech founder, the type of content I will create to attract, retain my type of audience is different from somebody that is a virtual assistant to celebrities, or that is a virtual assistant to chefs, or that is a virtual assistant to who can that is a virtual assistant to maybe the CEO of which other brand is this? The CEO of a food brand. The type of content I will create will be different from that other person. As much as everybody says, oh, don't give yourself a niche, you are the niche, this and this. But when you are starting out, you need to be known for something, right? You need to be known for something. You need to be known for a particular thing. So as you are starting out, you need to be known for something. Then you can now separate as your brand begins to grow. You can now start to infuse other things into that particular brand. So you will now be able to infuse other things into that content that you are creating. So let me just take us through the content creation process, right? So for me, right, before I create content for any brand, the first thing I ask myself is, who do these people want to serve? And they might not be serving just one person, they might be serving different people. So what I now come up with is I come up with something that we call a customer persona. A customer persona gives you an understanding of the person that you're talking to. If I want to sell something for moms, my content will be different from if I want to sell something to police officers, or if I want to sell something to Gen Zs. Then there are businesses that are cross-functional. An example is food. So if I'm selling food now, because my customers are not only female, male, they are not, my customers are not only moms, my customers can be anybody. So the kind of content that I will create will also reflect that. And how will it reflect that? Let me give us an example from this content calendar. So this is our content calendar, right? If I'm supposed to plan out this, my content calendar, there's something that we call a content pillar. Content pillars are things that are content that they are the so when you are building a house, let me explain like this. When you are building a house, we have pillars that are holding the foundations, right? Same thing with content. So your content pillars are foundational content or foundational description of what you're trying to achieve. And they do different things. So for instance, what an educational post content would do is not the same thing a customer story would do. It's not the same thing a product and a service feature would do. And why? Is not everybody that can even do an educational content. Because some content, some people, and that's why a lot of people, they are exposing their trade secret unknowingly. So you have a competitor, I'm selling Zobo, another person is selling Zobo. And then because in a bid for me to do educational content, I am exposing all my secrets, all my trade secrets, what makes my Zobo Zobo. I am exposing it to a lot of people, my competitors online. That is not an educational content. There is a way for you to do educational content keeps your trade secret, right? So when you are doing content, so what we call content pillars are like the solid foundation of your content. So if I am supposed to create content for somebody selling food, for instance, I'm going to look at it and say, okay, for food, my target audience can be all encompassing. And that's why we say that when you're selling things, you should be able to see your business far more than just what you are selling, right? So if I am selling, let's say for instance, let's use this brand for example, Chowdeck. Everybody knows Chowdeck. What does Chowdeck sells? Chowdeck does not even sell food. Chowdeck is a delivery and a logistic company. And I don't know if everybody can agree with me. Maybe because I am a marketer, I am seeing it from that perspective. Chowdeck doesn't sell food. Chowdeck is a delivery and a logistic company that is very swift. And that's why you see that they don't joke with their drivers. Because in the real sense of it, Chowdeck does not have any food that they are selling. They have brands that they work with, so they deliver from one end to the other, from one end to the other. So when Chowdeck is marketing, they are not marketing the food to us, they are marketing the swiftness of their delivery. They are marketing how swift their delivery is. Oh, fastest delivery, you get your food under 30 minutes of placing your order. Do you get? That is what they sell. So Chowdeck is selling speed of delivery. They are not selling food, right? So once you are a business owner, there is something you need to sell, something outside of the product that you are selling. So let's say for instance, I want to start a fashion brand, that is selling clothes or that is selling children's clothes. I am not going to only sell children's clothes. Yes, I am selling children's clothes. But what I am selling is a feeling. I'm going to sell a feeling, a princess feeling to the parents. Or, oh, when you wear my clothes, when you wear this clothes that comes from my brand, your children feels like princess. So we are going to give them that princess treatment. That princess treatment is what I would take, market, and that will now be a basis for all the content that I am creating. Then I can now say, oh, if I want to sell princess treatment for these little children, what type of educational content do I need to do to suit this? Then I say, oh, what type of customer story? Because for different pillars do different things. Educational content makes you an authority in your niche. Customer story, or what we call customer reviews, helps you to build trust, right? In other people that have not used your product, so that they can use your products more. Then your product and your service content helps people to know about the things that you are selling, right? So if I am selling clothes to children, small children, now what type of content can I create? What type of educational content can I create that will portray or educate parents on how to give their children princess treatment? That will now be my educational content, not my trade secrets. I'm not going to say, oh, the type of, let's go to my supplier together, then I'll do a video of going to Idumota. It's not going to work like that. Or let's go to China together. This is how I order my things from China. No, that is not an educational content for me, for my brand, right? Then my customer story. If I'm telling a story of a customer, I'm going to now tell the story in such a way that how did I take this child that is wearing my piece? How were we able to change the person from being wearing ordinary clothes to wearing a princess clothes? So I'm going to take the journey. So I'm going to do like a story time content of how this person's parents, everybody were only like, why are you spending so much money on this girl's clothes? And the clothes are not even. Then after they now met my brand, everybody wants to know where they are getting their clothes from. Now the baby looks like a princess and everybody is asking. So that is a customer story that is ideal for me to share for that type of brand. I hope we are getting. Are we getting everything I'm saying? Please let me know if you can understand
Yes,
me.
yes, 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 we are.
Please.
I'll
Okay,
listen.
so that is the type of content that we now create for that type of brand. So educational content does not necessarily mean that, because I've seen a lot of videos online, especially on TikTok, and people will say, spend a day with me as I make my secret zobo, as I make my signature zobo. But they are selling the zobo and they are still showing us how they are making the recipe. They are not even they are not removing anything. They are just all in the name of they don't want to get keep, or they want to be as transparent as possible. That's not how to make a content, create an educational content. If I'm selling that type of zobo, if I'm supposed to make educational content, I'm going to start making educational content about the health benefit of taking zobo. What does zobo do to your health as a woman, as a man, as a child? The quantity of sugar in zobo, should the quantity of sugar in zobo be a lot, or should it be small? Can zobo spike your blood sugar level? Those are the type of educational content that I expect that somebody that is into that type of business will create. So because as much as we are trying to educate people, we are not telling you to give people your trade secrets. That's not what educational content is. I just wanted to get that out there so that we can understand. So now, if I am now to create my content calendar, then I now come and say, oh, I'm push the content out. So realistically, for me, right, how many times in a week can I put out content? Is this realistic? Then I now have to say, okay, if I want to push out 500 contents from now till the end of the year, how can I how can I achieve this? Then I will now say, okay, I need to be able to batch create my content. If I am batch creating my content, if I choose a day in a week, so I can now share the tasks and say, okay, so Monday or the days that I know that I am free, maybe Saturdays are for shooting videos, right? If I shoot my videos on Saturdays, I can now edit on Sunday. Then that means I now have content that I can use from Monday through to Friday. So that now makes it the work more simplified. So that I know that when I am very busy during the week, I already have content that will take me through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So now, when I now say, okay, I already have that, I want a video post, a text post, I want, right? Then I can now say, okay, what are the topics that I want to talk about? So another website that is going to be very useful when you are creating content is something that we call Ask the Public. And I'm just going to get it before. or somebody already felt like, oh, I need to know about this. So what does Ask the Public do? Ask the Public gives you things that you would talk about in your business. So this is what the website looks like. If we want to talk about virtual assistants, virtual assistants. Okay. So when you come to answer the public, depending on the region that we have, you are in Nigeria, there are other people that are in US, so you can change your location. You can either say Google or you can say Instagram. So let's do Instagram. If I want to, I'm logged out already. Let's just use Google. Don't want to be logging back in. Okay. So if we want to use virtual assistants and let's say search, this is going to bring us all the topics of everything that people are asking about in that your niche, right? We can now take that and turn it into content, because there is a different thing for you to be content that you're thinking that, oh, this is what people need, but that is not what people are really asking about. So in total, the search volume of virtual assistant on Google in Nigeria is about 14,800. That means people are searching, but not a lot of people are searching for virtual assistants, right? So we'll now come here and say, these are the questions that people are asking. These are the questions. So if I want to create a course that is targeted to virtual assistants, now I know what to talk about. So I can create topics or videos. Virtual assistants is in so much demand. Who is Google's virtual assistant? That's a very weird question, but no problem. So who is Google's virtual assistant? That's somebody actually asked that, but that's fine. Then there is a virtual assistant jobs available. Are they in demand? A virtual assistant cost worth it? Can virtual assistants be a search also? How virtual assistant works? These are a lot of questions. So if I want to create videos now on virtual assistants, for maybe I am creating a course for virtual assistants on how to manage community. Now I know the type of things to create, talk about. So the only thing you now have to do is to come down here, this console here, and save this. Once you save it, then you can now write a script about it. If you are doing a video, you write a script about it. Then you can now turn it into a video. That is how to get, this is one of the easiest way to get content on any subject that you're talking about, right? So once you are able to do this, it saves you a lot of time. So what skills must a virtual assistant have? Can I be a virtual assistant without experience? What are the qualifications of a virtual assistant? What are the skills required of a virtual assistant? Can I be a virtual assistant with no experience? So we already know that this, can I be a virtual assistant with no experience, is a very common question that people ask. So we can now make a video about it. How much are virtual assistants in Nigeria paid? How much is a virtual assistant paid in the US? So these are critical questions that people are asking. So they're talking about the salary. They're talking about the experience. What are types of virtual assistant jobs? So this is how you get your content. So I can now come and say, okay, this is what I have. Then I can say, oh, what skills must a virtual assistant have? That is one question. Then I can now come to my content calendar and say, that would be good for an educational video, right? Then I'll now come here and write whatever I want to write and say, what skills does a virtual assistant needs. And then I have one content. Right, let me wrap this text. So now I have one content, one educational content on that topic on every platform that you want to post it on. So if I'm supposed to post this educational content, I would have gone to TikTok or gone to Instagram and see the highest view videos on this topic. Once I see the highest view, I would now replicate the things that I see. I'm not going to, I didn't say steal or copy their content word for word. I will study the structure of the video, right? What type of hook did this person use? How did this person script this video? Okay, one thing that's over time, we've noticed that negative hook works more in Nigeria than overseas. Negative hook, threats, those are things that works in Nigeria rather than positive hooks. So I can now look at it and say, okay, this video, what is the hook that this person used in this video? And what are hooks? Hooks are the first sentence that somebody says in a video that catches attention. Are we getting it? So your hook is usually the first sentence or the first statement that somebody makes in a video that makes you to stop scrolling. And that is it. So when content, they say that the first 3 seconds is always very important because that determines whether somebody watches your video or they don't, whether they scroll past your video or they watch the video to the end. So now, what is that thing that you need to see? So for somebody like me, right, what I do is that I would have watched. So if I'm creating a video on virtual assistants, let's do a practical example. If you would come here, right, let's search for virtual assistant. I think we can still do that. Okay. Okay, let's go to the videos. The videos. So we have to come here and see the most liked videos, right? The most liked videos. I think this. So what I want to do is that I'm going to come here, watch this people's video, see what they are talking about. 5 virtual assistance platforms, see what they are talking about, and say, okay, how can I inculcate this into my content? What are they saying? How did this person start their video? What was their first word? What was the hook they used? What was this? So then I will now use it to structure my video. There is a book that I want us to read. If you really can place your hands on it. It is called Still Like an Artist. So one of my friends one of my colleagues at work that introduced this book to me. It's called Still Like an Artist. There is no new idea anywhere. And I just want us to get that. There's nothing that you are doing that you want to do or that is new. There's nothing new under the sun. There is no content that is new under the sun. So now, how do you create content that people have done before and also now make it yours, uniquely yours? You have to be able to steal like an artist. I think do I have the soft copy of the book? But if I find the soft copy of the book, I will just let us know. You have to now be able to structure the video uniquely in your own way so that it can impact views, get from view. Nobody is going to accuse you of stealing that content. So that is that. So I'm not going to say, okay, these are then. Another thing I want us to notice that these words, right? These are what people are searching for. These words are things that people are searching for, that is also relating to virtual assistants. So these are topics that you can also look into, and you can make your videos out of it also. So this is practically the research that goes into getting content. Are we getting the picture now? So you have to do a lot of research, you have to do a lot of back and forth with yourself, a lot of back and forth on the internet, and say, okay, this is good, this is not good, this is how to really go back and forth on any subject that we want to create a content on. I can now say, okay, I know my first topic, I know my so now what I now have to do is that I have to create a different sheet or a different page. These are all my sheets. So I have to create maybe a new what's it called? Okay, I have to add a new sheet. Then I now come here and say content script, right? I wanted to show us an already prepared one before, but I remember that is my work document, so I might not have I don't have the rights to kind of show it to everybody. So this is, then you come here and now create your own content script. So when you are creating a script, you now have the hook. We have the hook, the full text, then we now have the CTA, right? What is a CTA? A CTA is a call to action. People will not do anything regarding your video if you don't tell them to do anything. So if I'm watching a video now and the person just gave me an educational video, I watch it and go. But as you're watching the video, you have to say something. That's why you see a lot of people saying, like this video, comment on this video, follow if you want more tips, or go and watch the remaining of the video on my YouTube channel. That is what we call a call to action. So they are giving you a CTA, a call to action, because it is in human nature. People that they want to do, unless you tell them. People can finish watching the video and just scroll and go their own way. But once you tell them something, you have to initiate an action for them to take. So that is what we call a CTA. All right, so we can now say, okay, this is my hook, this is my 5 seconds, my full text, and this is my CTA. So I can now say, okay, from this video that I have seen, now I can say, okay, my hook goes here. This is the most popular hook that makes people to stop and watch a video. So I put the hook here. Then I put my 5 seconds. I put everything that I want to say here. Then I put my CTA here. Then my script for a video is ready. Right? So once my script is ready, I move on to the next content that I want to create. Then I do that for all the video that I want to create. So now, then what I would advise is that if you are just started, you have to dedicate maybe a day. So maybe Mondays can be research day, Tuesdays are script days, Wednesdays are maybe review days. Then review in the sense that, because even after you finish writing a script, you have to go back over and over again and see, because you can see an inspiration. Oh yes, we can have an inspiration post. So you are going online, you're just online, and you see something that looks like something that you can recreate, or something that you can use the hook, or maybe the CTA they said, or maybe the style of the video, you just loved it. You will come and put the inspirational post here, so that even when you create, or maybe a topic that somebody spoke about and you want to do like a reaction video to, then you can come put it in your inspirational post, so that even if you want to tag the person or give the person credit for the video, you can remember where you got the inspiration from, right? Then you just come, put the link there, then you can go back, review it, and see the things that you need to do and how to do it differently, right? So that is that about inspirational posts. So that is also going to be like a thing, right? Once you are done, so what I usually advise is that, so you have days, everything has their own day. So research day, content research day, you have content script writing day. So if you want to create 5 videos in a week, you know that, oh, my script is usually ready on Monday. Or maybe I do my research on Monday, then I write my script that same Monday, or I do my research on Monday, write my script on Tuesdays. So you just make sure that everything, there are days that you do them so that you don't feel overwhelmed when creating videos and everything in between, right? So once you are able to do that, you see that creating content is a lot easier, is a lot better, right? So now, once we are done with the first educational content, I can now say, okay, storytelling, customer stories. How do I tell a story of a customer that I've used to my product or my service or the things that I do, or maybe I was able to help a particular CEO in my virtual assistant journey, and the person now has better time, the person time management is in check, the person has time to do other things, pursue the client. So as a virtual assistant, you know that you are not selling a virtual assistant service. You are selling free time, because the reason that a lot of people will employ virtual assistants is that they want free time to do other things. So now you are selling and you are telling them that, okay, give me all the tasks while you can focus on more important things, right? So now, how do I tell a success story of how I have been able to help people go from having multiple tasks to having free time on their hands to do every other thing? Okay, so maybe because I'm this person's virtual assistant, the person's sales has skyrocketed by so amounts. The person now has more time for partnership. This person now has time for more operational activities in their business, or this person is able to clock in more with clients. This person has been able to book more clients because I have taken up all the administrative role of this particular person. So we know that we are not selling virtual assistants, we are selling free time, right? So that's that. So I can now say, okay, how do I now build this story? How do I build this story to make sense for anybody that is seeing it? So once I'm able to do that, again, we'll go through everything that we've done in the previous time, right? Share a story. You can write your story down. Write your story. Some people have very creative ability and they can just write stories, right? Share your story. You might not necessarily share it like a normal story. You can just tell us about it. It can just be like a yapping section. You have to make it, especially if you are posting on TikTok. TikTok is more informal than Instagram, right? And you will notice that there are a lot of creators that they gained popularity from TikTok, and what they now did is that everything they are posting on TikTok, they are now posting it on Instagram, and it now makes them look more unique and more relatable, right? So TikTok is for being relatable. You have to be very relatable. You have to be very down to earth. They want to see you in your bonnet, not necessarily fully made cup face or fully glam. People want to be able to relate more to you, right? So you have to be able to tell your customer stories. Then after that, maybe you want to share a product of your services. Then you can now tell us about what you do and what your services entail, and just do it in a very relatable way, right? Another thing is you can do share trends. What is trending in virtual assistant? What tools are trending? Maybe Notion. Notion is trending. Why is everybody using Notion? Do we have alternative to Notion? A lot of things that we can share, and that will make our content calendar complete. Then another type of content we can do is interactive content, right? A lot of people, you see that a lot of people now are doing reaction videos. So you can react to the video, you can do live video, just answer the the comments in your comment sections. Then once you are done with week one, we move to week two. I will see if there's a way that I can share this with us. I would pass it through the admin so that it can give us an idea. I think I just stopped at week two. Once you're done with week two, oh, perfect. Week three, then you move to week four. If there's a week five, because some months are week five, then what I now have to do is that once I've done this, I would come to this place and duplicate it. So now I have, let's duplicate this. If we duplicate this now, my network is so slow today. Okay, perfect. I now have then I rename this. So this can be let's say August contents calendar. Then this will be rename it, and this is now September content calendar. Then goes on and on and on like that till the end of the year. So oftentimes organizations or people even plan their content 6 months in advance. They plan everything they want to do 6 months in advance, and anything that else that they are doing, they are just extra content, but they already have their always on content. So this that we are doing is what we call always on content. Some people can be spontaneous and just pick up their camera, just record, even though they have their always on content. That doesn't mean that their content will not go. It will go. So another thing that can help you to do this is that once you are able to have all your content, you don't even have to be online every time. You can schedule your content, right? So for instance, you can come to Facebook. I wish I was long here. Told you that if you come to TikTok, and if you're using a laptop, you can schedule your content, right? They will want me to log in. Okay. I wanted to show us how to schedule, but I think we have to do that later. So you can schedule your content, you can schedule your after I have finished editing on Sunday, I will schedule the one for Monday, schedule the one for Tuesday, schedule the one for Thursday, and so everything just goes whether I am online or I am offline. Instagram has the same feature now. You can also schedule your posts on Instagram now. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook has the same feature. You can also schedule your Facebook now. Like everything now have scheduling apps, so you don't have to use third party like buffer. So but if you want to use third party apps, there's another app that is called this is it, social media management for everyone. This is buffer. You can come to both, sign up. Once you sign up, you can put all your social media in one place. So all the content that is going, you schedule everything, you connect all your social media platforms to this, and everything goes out automatically. So it makes your job easier, faster, so that you can have time to do every other thing that you want to do, and you're not spending hours online, right? So once you do this, we also have Notion. You can also schedule on Notion, and you can also plan your content also Notion, you don't have to use Excel sheets like me, right? You can also use Notion. But the reason why I use Excel sheets to explain is because for beginners knows how to use. So Notion can be very technical, especially for non-tech people. So let's check Notion. We have Notion. So this is Notion. So this is Notion. Yeah, continue as me. I think I have a Notion account. I'm trying to see. Okay. So that I can show us what a content calendar on Notion looks like versus what a content calendar on Sheets looks like, right? So now that you've done your video, or I feel that for a lot of people, one thing that stops a lot of people from creating content is shyness. A lot of people are shy of the camera. They are shy to look into the camera. They are shy of they are shy about creating content. Okay, so this is something. This is Notion. Notion is a bit technical. So we have social media content. This is an example of a social media content on Notion. So maybe August 2025 content calendar for TikTok and Instagram. So let's look into this. So these are like calendars, right? So this is Notion calendars. So the app Notion also has an app, so you can. So let's view all the contents calendar. Let's view all of my calendar. The publishing date is empty. I didn't put publishing date for almost. So this just helps you to put everything in one place. So maybe you have a learning part that you're doing, a Bible journal for 2025. So just everything is all encompassing in your Notion, right? So you can also use this. You can also use this for everything that you want to do. You can also download their app. You can do your journaling here, your monthly budgets. Just it's another tutorial. If somebody wants to teach how to use Notion, this is going to be another tutorial on its own. That's why I said all these apps are things that we can just go like and in our time, in our free time, we have to go through the all over again so that we can use them and understand them better. Now that you've created your content, there are two apps that you can use to edit your content. We have the CapCut app. We have CapCut, and we also have InShot. We have CapCut. There are different types of CapCuts. We have the free version, the pro version. We have the CapCut. We have InShot. This is CapCut. We have InShot. Um, we have InShot. This is another video editor. Then you can also use our friends. You can use Canva to edit your videos too. You can use Canva to edit your videos as a beginner. Everything is just loading. Okay. You can also use Canva to edit your videos. Then let's leave in. You've edited your videos, now to post your videos. There is something on every platform that we call SEO. So we have SEO. So if I am posting my videos now, what I want to note is that I will go to, this lady has the highest views, right? I'm going to go to our page or our video, and I'm just going to note the hashtag that she used. So we have hashtag virtual assistant, remote work, side hustle. I'm going to copy it, right? And I'm going to just put it in my calendar, because those are potential, not those are, okay, let me rename this to content structure. Content, let's even put script structure. Okay. So what I want to do is that I'm going to come here and I'm going to use hashtags, because what hashtags does for you on platform like Instagram and TikTok most especially is that it helps you to be recognized by the platform as this is the niche that this person talks about. So what I want to, I'm not going to come here and see all the hashtags that she used. I'm going to come here, Control C, and I'm going to copy it, right? And I'm going to copy it, right? Doing this is that I want to be able to, let's make this white again. Okay, so it's like passing lines. Okay. So why am I doing this? You will notice that for each of this that I am pressing on, because if you're copying it from a phone, it's going to be different. But because I'm using a laptop, it has hyper tagged everything. So what this does for you is that it helps the platform to categorize your video under something. So because I am talking about virtual assistants, I'm going to look for, this is going to be at the end of all my videos. So I'm going to have hashtags there. So I'm going to go to another one, and I'm going to look for another video that talks about virtual assistant that has a lot of text. And then again, so I'm going to here and check out used any hashtag. You notice that hashtag, but if you check the virtual assistant field, this is virtual 2, dance 3, virtual assistant. So it's already saying from that I am talking about virtual assistant. She has something that stuffing has stuffed it, keywords into this so that it makes it easy for her to see. Another thing I want to show us is that you will notice that when we were looking for even Google, right? Let's come here. This is in shorthand. I wanted to show you this before. If I search for virtual assistant, right? You will notice that maybe because I'm in digital marketing, right? I have a lot of these apps, right? So now I have to go. If you go scroll down, if you check my laptop, these are lots of trending keywords on virtual assistants. Virtual assistant job. So these are keywords that I need to put in my caption before I post my video so that they can categorize my video as so that they can categorize my video as, what's it called, as a virtual assistant video, right? So this Chrome extension is called Keywords Everywhere. This is just, you might not be able to install it on your phone, but in case you are using a laptop, this is what we call Keywords Everywhere. So it helps you to fish out this, and it's basically, it helps all the content, the keywords that you need to be in your videos when you are posting, right? So these are, see, ALX virtual assistant. This is, I think this is all the virtual assistant course that everybody's doing. Virtual assistant jobs. So these are necessary keywords that can be in your video before you post the video. This can be in your caption before you post the video. So this is one way that you need to know what your keywords also. So another place, and if you don't have access to keywords everywhere, if you don't have a laptop you are using, you can just easily use the route, using these routes that we spoke about, the words that we spoke about here. So let's say, for instance, we want to talk about another thing, or maybe remote job. Let's look for another popular thing that people talk about is remote job. I think that's we have remote job. There are people that the algorithm already understand their content, that even without them using hashtag, because they've done it over and over and over again, the platform just recognizes them as these people always talk about remote jobs. So let's see the top videos. So I think this was posted a day ago. So this was posted 3 days ago, and we have over 4,000 likes. So if I want to talk about remote work, remote working, so what I just have to do is to go and look at the hashtags, like I said. Look at the person's caption. You will notice this: remote work experience. This is 1. Remote jobs. This is 2. Remote work. This is 4. Work from anywhere is another similar thing to remote job. That is 5. So a lot of times people have to put all these keywords in their caption, because if not, because I said AI algorithm cannot really hear you. And another thing is that when you are editing your video, they can read the script on your video, the text on your video. So you have to put text. You notice that everybody puts text on their video. They are not just doing it because of people, that in a way the search engine, the algorithm, can read the text on the video, but it can, right? So that is the essence of doing all this that we do. Let's see another one. But what other topic can we talk about? For this, see this person. This guy's video amazing when it comes to remote job, but you will notice that because this is something he has done over time, see, his hashtag does not even match what he's talking about, remote job in Nigeria. But if you look at his page, right, the only thing he talks about is remote jobs and how to make money online. See, tech monetization, and he has over 4.4 million likes. So he has been posting for a very long time, and the algorithm already knows that he talks about. And you will notice that his videos are also, there's text on screen. See, the text on screen, everything is talking about the particular thing. So when you are editing your video, you're putting your video online, you have to make sure that the algorithm